want to make sure that I'm streaming to the right channel. It's setting up, my Zoom is setting up to my YouTube. Everyone looks in place. And it looks fantastic. Okay, and let me just do one more. You got it. And I'll do my loom just so that I have another backup. And I'm ready to give me problems. So try. I'll do full screen. And then I'll put it in. Okay, so I'm recording to my computer. On-prem, and I'm also recording in the class. Okay, so we have everyone here that's set for us. Let's go through a bit of housekeeping, and let me just make sure that everyone is aware. Zachary Berman, you asked me about the second exam. Zachary, do you know when the second exam is?
Yeah, it's on April 17th, right?
Yes, April 17th. Where? Zachary?
Stubblefield or Stubblefield.
Yes, Stubblefield 204, the same one that we were in the room before. So that is our second exam. Our presentation of our project, Zachary, are in the last day of class, which is April 29th. You will present that to me. Every group will present that to me. I will give you feedback. You will then take my feedback, make corrections, and then record in Zoom your final presentation. My presentation on the 29th will be a shortened version of your final presentation. Do you understand that, Zachary? And then when you finish with that and all your other documents, you will upload it as your final project, and it's due the time of the final exam.
Okay, so we don't actually have to be like in person for like the final exam time. It's just submitting it then.
Exactly. Yes. I
Okay,
find
thank
that
you.
much more convenient. What do you think?
Yeah, that works.
It works, right? So it works. So you'll be available April 17th, and that will be your second exam, and then the rest of the semester and through your final exam, you'll be working on your projects to get that right. And we'll be working on every week. We will be doing that. Now, Daniel, can you be so kind and be in the chat? Is there anyone else that wants to help Daniel in the chat? Do I have any volunteers? Just to look at the chat.
I can do it.
Okay. So Tatiana, thanks. So just check in the chat, and Tatiana, unmic yourself if there's something important that I need to address. Something just like Zach said he wasn't sure about. He was ready to come for a third final exam. And I'm saying, Zach, I think it's enough 2 exams. You agree? And we'll concentrate on the latter part, and I'd rather you spend time on the project and do a great job on that. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, let me go to share my screen and make some assignments. At 4 p.m. today, we're having the representative from Wix come in. So if you got folks look and see that Ellery, I sent her the link. If there's any issue there, I'll have my email there in case she's trying to get me. I sent her the links there. So if let me know anything else I need to do. Okay, so we're recording, we're welcoming. What I want to do is I want to cover basically some housekeeping. So I want to share my screen. I want to go to Chrome. You see that we're recording. That looks good. I'm going to go to make sure that I'm an H1. Go to what's due. In the what's due section, you'll see today was artificial intelligence. Plus, I asked you for the 2 readings of artificial intelligence, generative AI. Also, what is artificial intelligence in the subfields. On April 3rd, I want to make sure that everyone has their final proposal approved from me. I think most groups I've approved it. If I haven't approved it, I'd like you to stay after class with me to make sure that our final approval is done. On Monday, April 8th is chapter 10 with Wiley in the regular quiz. Plus, I'd like you to submit your group project Wix draft without upgrading, but basically start. And then also for Mondays, think about domain names. These are domain names that can be registered. So think about good domain names for April 8th. So what I need to do is make available under assignments and quizzes. I need to go to chapter 10, which is ERP, which stands for Enterprise Resource and Planning. I'm going to edit the test options. It's Enterprise Resource and Planning. You can see right here, show the description, open the test, make it available, add a new announcement, have it 2 times. I'm not going to force completion. The due date is a week from Monday at 3:30, which is fine. And I submit. And the question is, do you see it on your end? I should see it there. So Tatiana, do you see it on your end? Can you please look and see if you see then quiz chapter 10 available? Is it available?
I see it.
Okay, good. And under Wiley Plus, I need to do the same thing. I need to make it available. So I'm going to make it available. And under ERP, ERP, they're talking about transaction processing, functional areas, enterprise resource planning, and the adaptive assignment. Let's make that available. Open the assignment, and I should be able to change it to the due date. Edit the assignment. Okay. Next step. ERP. Next step. And set the due date. Assign it to the entire class. Next. And the due date should be on the 8th. I'll just leave it at that time. And I'll just save it. Saving the assignment, and you should be able to get into it. Perfect. Okay, questions? All right. So let me stop sharing. And everybody should have their pictures on board. Okay. Is there anyone that is not in a group? Everyone is in a group. Put that in your email. If you're having any problems with your group, you can put it in the chat. Okay. So what I'd like to do as people are getting on, we're looking for also Ellery to be on board, is I had Daniel start his project. So maybe it would be interesting, Daniel, if we, Daniel and I had a session yesterday. You can see, yesterday evening, I looked at Daniel's site and gave him some feedback. And the feedback I gave Daniel is what I want you to think about. Basically, the idea is I do not mind if groups do the same idea and the same project. If a number of you want to be consultants, business consultants, and focusing in on generative AI and helping businesses figure out how they can use this technology, how they can, what works, what doesn't work, what we can set as expectations, and how you can help companies. And this has to be, as we talked about, generative AI has come about and is evolving quickly. There's some things that it cannot do well. There's other things that it can do well. And the pricing keeps on changing. They go from betas to version, 1, 2, and 3. And what I'd like you to do in your projects is to become familiar and have some skills that you could advise companies on how they can use these tools. So why don't we do this? Daniel, could you then maybe share your screen with your project, and we'll go over it together so we can kind of, the students can kind of get a feel. This, of course, is not final. Daniel is just working on this, just like you folks are working on it. He's just a bit ahead of you, which is good. So he kind of, I'm saying to, we're going to have Daniel kind of like be head model for it. So this was, if you looked at it, Daniel went to Wix.com and basically you signed up, right, for a free version, right, Daniel?
Yep.
And this is his dashboard. And one of the first things welcoming to his dashboard in Wix, you have your dashboard in your home, is one of the things when you have that available, you have a dashboard like we saw before. So how do you want to start this, Daniel? We'll work together on it.
So here, there's the options to manage the website. You click on Site and Mobile App. I
Okay.
guess before we go there, I should show how to add people to the website.
Yes, that's the first thing.
So just in the home page, you go to Wix.com, you sign up, and then you go to Settings, and then you go to Roles and
Okay, so
Permissions.
let's go through that again. Let's go through that again. So you went to basically under Settings, right? When you did Wix.
So this is the main page.
This is the main page of Wix.
And then Roles and Permissions.
Okay, and roles and permissions. So that's the first thing every group needs to do. Is once you sign up and go to Settings, you need to go to roles and permissions in this case, and then you're able to then give people different roles. I give each member, there's one person in your group that needs to sign up for Wix, and that person then will be able to, only that person will be able to upgrade in the free version.
Mhm.
But what the nice thing here on managing roles here, if we go to managing roles, you want to go there?
Sure.
Is that you can see here, you has access to edit, publish, and manage the site, including, in this case, you probably don't want them including billing payment,
Yeah. So
right? So you want to have them be website manager. So you want to, as you remember how we are always talking about the need to know. You don't want somebody to be messing with your financial information and your credit card information, but everyone should be then being able to be a website manager. Questions? Tatiana, are there any questions in the chat?
Nope.
Okay. So in terms of the settings, then we can do that. Okay. What's the next thing? Daniel?
So under site and mobile app, that's where you can edit the website. So site, mobile app, website, and then you click on edit site. So I went through the process, just telling AI what I wanted this website to kind of look like. And then it gives you a template that's kind of customized and you just add information to it.
Right. So there's two ways that you can use Wix. In Wix, you can use it as choosing your template, and they have very nice templates. They really did a nice job. So I'd advise some people just to use their templates and find consulting templates that are available. The other side is Wix has kind of their own built-in generative AI that they try to make websites for you. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is the home page of the site. This is the logo, the name. I set it up so these, if I go to the actual website, so if I say it was on a different page, I could click these and it would return me back to the home site. That's not too difficult. Then I added this. This is a AI generated image. I thought it looked kind of nice. This was using ChatGPT's DALL-E, or OpenAI's
And you know what
DALL-E.
would be a nice idea is to have like an asterisk next to that and have a
Like-
way in which you would say this was generated by,
I mean, it looks pretty AI generated.
yeah, but actually give it credit, because guess
Oh, I
what?
see what you mean.
You think about it. What are you? You're helping AI elevate your business. You want to show how it's basically you're showing your own work of how you can help them. So in the opposite, rather than hiding how you're using generative AI, what I'd like each group to do, and yourself too, is give credit, because normally you may not even give credit because it's not like a copyright, but give credit in order to let the users know, or potential folks, that, hey, I generated this, and even what product you used. So in that case, you could help them generate logos or generate pictures for them. So what I add, make a note there for yourself, Daniel, is that in anything that you generate, that say, this was generated by DALL-E, this was generated by, Microsoft Copilot or any other.
Okay, so other things.
Yeah.
This header, I realized that it didn't resize properly as the default settings, so I had to play around with it. And you can see if we switch to mobile, you click this button up here. Now it resizes properly.
Right. So what's nice here, and we may want to, Dylan, add that, make sure that that's in our rubric when we're going to make that available, is that we test it on the web and also mobile. Because most folks are going to be seeing it on the mobile, and if it doesn't look well on the mobile, it should work. They should have made that adjustment, but if it doesn't, you need to make sure, check on that. Okay.
So then these pages are called navigate. They're just the site pages. So if we go to about, this is also an AI generated image.
And the same thing with this AI generated image, what would be nice is you could even ask it a couple of times. For instance, in copilot.microsoft.com, you can ask it to generate, a group of people in a business using, give me an image with a generative AI. You can do it. And wherever you did it, give credit, almost like credit. Like you give, like photographers, when they give credit, we're giving credit. Not all, most people don't give that credit, but in our case, we're credit due. It's giving the opportunity to allow people to see what you can do, and you can help them do it the same way, okay?
Yeah, so then I added a picture of myself, a little blurb about myself. I need to add more background that's more realistic. This is just an AI prompt.
Okay, so what I would like for every group, let me just put it again, there should be a about us, the team that you have.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's
you'll
okay.
put in a picture of just yourself, you know, it's not you with all your friends at the beach, but rather a professional one, and then give yourself a role. This should not be emphasizing that we're the student, what is your major so much, but rather what is your role at this consulting company or your project, what is your role, and then what is your interest in your roles, and then you can include that you're also, it can be, I want this to be realistic and real. You don't make up stories, you know, that all of a sudden Daniel, you know, is an astronaut, right? Astrophysics, you know, but the idea, he can't put in that he's working on his, you know, degree in, let's say, whatever major business technology or whatever it is. So put that in, but more I want to emphasize than what you're doing for the company and make it in a way. Okay, great. But then you have Dylan and Spencer of the other two. Okay.
And then the book online page. So I need to change it so one of these is free, or I think I'm gonna actually add another one that's free.
Yes. Okay. Can I make a note?
Yes.
When you're giving your services, everybody listening, Tatiana, you may even want to make sure that everybody understands that in the group is I'd like most of your services in the beginning that you're going to give free trials, free consulting, free basically online seminars, because people don't know you. And why should I? It's a matter now, and it's also a matter of trust in Gen AI of who do we trust. So it's just the same thing as when we think about who do we trust. I want it to be, number one, I want you to be able, those AI seminars to be free. And then later on, it could be, you could have a plan where you could get AI seminars free, and then you can get, you know, speaking with experts. You know, you could have some hours with speaking with experts. But everyone should at least give some of their services, even in the beginning, all of their services for free, and then later on working with companies, you know, like first visit free, or the seminars being free, or these are free, these are paid. And then we can get sponsors to sponsor some of those seminars where we can get in those revenues. Questions? And let me know if Dylan, if Ellery, when she's
Yeah, I'm looking out for her.
okay, look out for her.
So
Okay,
another thing we can do once we get the code, we can click book now and all that stuff, and they could actually pay hypothetically.
yeah, those are the bookings that we can do.
Yeah.
Since
So
we'll be getting, we should be getting a code in here where we can get the bookings in the code. We'll be able to upgrade. But I want everybody to do the free version first, and let's get all the text right, and then we'll worry about upgrading, because I don't want to start upgrading, because once you upgrade once, you can't change it and upgrade to something else, you know? So let's make
Ellery's
it,
here, by the way.
what?
Ellery's here, by the way.
Perfect. Okay. So these are the ways in which to think about it. And then in the social media, if there was someone not in a group or an extra person, did you want someone to join you, Daniel?
yeah, if anyone would be able to,
Yeah, especially focusing in on the social media part. So
that
you
would be
can reach
helpful.
out to Daniel if you wanted to be part of his group, if you didn't get started. And I'm leaving Daniel to decide who he wants with the group. Okay. So thank you, Daniel. We got a first look. And Ellery, how are you? I'm
Great,
just so
thank
pleased
you.
that you are
Hi.
joining us. Our class was thrilled to hear that you are coming, you're supporting us. How great is that? Not everybody says, hey, academic relationship, that you're not only supporting us, but you're coming in on premise, as we say, online to help us.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Ellery, this is my class. They are basically looking at AI generation tools, and they want to think how they can help businesses elevate those businesses using some of those tools, Ellery. And if you can share, I don't know how you're going to share the codes to upgrade and maybe your slides. How do you want to work that, Ellery? Because I have Dylan here, who's our teaching assistant, and he's happy he has access to our Blackboard so he can upload anything that you have. So how do you want to arrange that, Ellery? Or do you want to do that at the very end?
Yeah, I have the codes and the deck, so I just can email it to you.
Okay, great. So email it to
I can put my email in the chat right now.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks, Dylan. Go ahead and send me in the chat, and I'll copy you too.
And copy me too.
Yeah.
Dylan. So that'll be so great. And then Dylan can your presentation, your slides will be then available for our students, plus your codes, where I don't want them to use their codes right now. I'd like them to do a first draft, get my approval, but then once they're at a point, and then you can emphasize what which plan should they upgrade to is going to be important, because you have many different plans. You'll emphasize what plan that is. And I know we're limited in time, Ellery, and you're limited as well. So
yes, so definitely we'll be going over that. You'll have access to the business one, which is the one that you'll want to use.
Okay, and you'll show it to us.
You'll be using different tools. Yeah.
Perfect. And then, another thing, Ellery, that I wanted to do is, a lot of our students, when they're going to use social media, they thought about using like stories on Instagram. So if they upload to their Instagram, can that also appear in Wix?
Yes, I have a section in here that is going to be how to access apps. So I'll go and also show you how you can add IG so that it's constantly evolving with whatever updates you make. It'll automatically refresh on your website
That'll
too.
be beautiful. I think that'll be awesome. So those, when they're doing their social media, when they're adding, once they start working, they'll be adding every day. Once they keep on adding, it'll be updated. They don't have to do it twice. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I have a little section here for apps. I think you sent an email that's you wanted to change it up.
Yeah, a bit. Things change. What can I say? We'll work. We'll go with the flow.
You keep me on my toes. That's for sure.
I know, but it was just that we kind of saw it. So basically, kind of looking at, I'd like you kind of show how we get started and where do we start. I like the idea that they can start with templates, or they can get the Wix to generate their site. We have Dylan here who has started. He's kind of my teaching assistant in training, so he's kind of started. You kind of saw that he's started and he had it generated. Okay. So are we set, Ellery?
Yep, let me know when you're ready to go.
I'm ready for you. One, I want to introduce then Ellery Rojas from Wix, and she has been my partner in crime for a number of semesters here, and I thank Wix for sending her to me to help our students basically figure out these new technologies, and this technology is really booming here, and especially in this past year has been changing. So I'll leave the floor to you, Ellery, and our students then, this is going to be recorded, but our students then, you're going to also give these slides to them as well. You've passed that on.
Yes, I am going to be adding it in the email along with the codes for you for each class.
Perfect, great. And you'll be sending it to me and to
Mhm.
Dylan, and Dylan will then, we can show that on Wednesday for our students. Okay, so we're ready for you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So like the professor mentioned, I'm an academic partnerships manager here with Wix. Excited to just kind of go through a little bit of how Wix can help you, and you can power through it, not only for your course, but something you can use and create depending on what your needs are, even post-academic in class. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about that planning phase. I'm going to show a few templates, some consulting examples. I'll show you a little bit more about how you can create search engine optimization that's going to allow you really to have the face of your company or your page or your portfolio, whatever you end up creating, be found based on the criteria that you create. So it's important to learn about search engine optimization. If you haven't Googled yourself, it's something you definitely want to do because you'll be able to manage that in the future if you ever have an online presence. I'll talk a little bit about Wix bookings and how you can attach a Zoom link to that. I know that UM uses Zoom, so your professor will show you a little bit more about that and using the link. And then, of course, how to access apps and also adding contributors. So I guess one of my first questions for all of you is, how many of you have used Wix before? You can put a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a yes or a no in the chat.
Or put who has used Wix before, put it in the chat. Is there anyone?
I think I've got a few here. Yeah. So you kind of been working on it. The very first step you want to do is really create an account. Like your professor mentioned, the Wix platform is a free platform. So you can make as many of these sites as you want for free. Wix provides you with a URL. There's just a certain point where you're going to either upgrade to a premium or want to for specific reasons, and I'll kind of go through that as well. But essentially, some of these use cases that I'll add in here, I believe this is a sample you gave me, Professor.
Yeah, this was one of our former students that
Mhm.
also turned into be our it probably is not working now. 'Cause
Oh,
it was
they
a year ago,
closed
but it
it.
was one of,
Yeah.
you can just show the cover on that. And we have some of the students, as a matter of fact, Dylan had his. They've looked at some of those. We've given some of our prior students, we've given them their link where it is working. But this student, for
Perfect.
instance, she was using it for physical therapy and having
Mhm.
basically online to be able to give the physical, being a physical therapist.
Absolutely. So they were able to create a business page. That was the company that they came up with. They added several social media tools and were able to create an app and everything once they were able to go in there. We have another use case, elevated golf, and we have a few templates. So once you get started and you start choosing and you break up in groups, this is probably one of the first things you'll want to do. You want to assign someone to be able to manage the account if you're in a group setting. And then all of you will be able to be added onto that site that you're working on, that template, and become contributors. And I'll show you how to do that if you haven't done so already. But these are just a few consulting templates. Depending on what kind of business you're building, let me go ahead and go in here. Let me see if this one is active. Okay. So this is just one example. If you were to say, hey, I'm making a business health and I want to have bookings and I want to sell services and I want to have a blog. So you looked up a template. Templates are already set up with the features that you're needing. And when you're building out your site, Wix will ask you these questions like, what are these needs? What are these services that you want? What are these tools that you're looking for? And we can best align you with a template that matches your need. And so when you go in here, the really most important thing to note is you get to preview the templates. Really take a look at, hey, is this something that I need? Is this something that I don't need? What is it that I'm building for my business, for this course? What are the tools that we're looking at? What's that contact page? What does that look like? What is it that's required? What do I want to have? And then, of course, how do I modify this? How do I then start making it and building it and setting my own prices? And that's what I'll show you how to do on the back end, on the editor, so that you as a group will be able to start making these edits and make your own page unique to you. Be able to choose your own images, be able to choose your own backgrounds, and be able to add your own services. So for example, for you all, maybe it's not just a singular person. Maybe you want to add a team. I'll show you how easily you can add a team here for what you're building, okay, for this group project. All right, so if you also wanted to take a look at what it looked like on a mobile device, you can preview that also using this little mobile icon and go through and preview the pages individually as well. So you can see what it looks like on a mobile view. You'll be able to launch these. You'll be able to show each other what are the edits. You can leave comments for each other if you want to, and I'll show you how to do that on the editor as well. Okay, and you'll be able to do mobile edits as well. So if you wanted to choose this template, for example, all you had to do was click edit the site and it'll start building that out for you. I think for today, there was a certain one that you wanted to do. Are you still looking to do a podcast one, Professor?
Show that in case that'll be an option for students that want to do a podcast. It's not going to be required for all groups, but the students that want to add that feature, if you could show that, how a podcast, how you could do a podcast as well. Some students were interested in that.
Okay. So we have picked one that we're going to kind of build out, the professor and I, for today's class. And it was, you know, let's pick some really simple one. It's a business template. You'll be able to go to the templates page. You'll be able to find plenty of categories to choose from in here that'll help you build that business that you're looking for. And then you can also do a nice little search. So if I wanted to put here business, any examples of businesses that you're building? I'd love to choose one as a sample.
One was an AI, basically they were consulting for basically using AI generation tools. And another one was using health AI generation tools. So on business.
Okay, so if I were to just put in business consult AI, it'll start giving me a few examples. Maybe I'll pick this one, AI company. And I can click view and preview that, right? So do I want to add video? Do I want to have bookings? What exactly is it that I'm looking for? It lets you preview that template. It lets you take a look and see if these are the different things that you want to do, or the features that you're looking to add to your page. And so really take a look at it and see if it's something that you want to include for your page. You'll even notice that this has kind of like a career site and job openings. That's not really something that we need for what she mentioned. So I'll go back here into a business consulting site here, because what I want to do is like start booking. I want people to click on something, click on a calendar, and be able to set up an appointment with me. And so this has something, let's see here, that has a little bit more focus. It's very simple, it's very specific. And I like that it has these different tools in which we can kind of have a conversation, or maybe I have an event and I want to join it and I want to be able to kind of see the prices. Maybe I want to sign up for something. You'll be able to see that in this particular
that'd be
template.
Great, because if they were just
so it lets you preview all these different sections,
how to generate traffic or how to use certain tools
that you see yourselves kind of creating or making, then you can go ahead and do that template. I'm sorry, Professor. I think I have a lag, or I'm not sure if it's.
No, it's fine. Perfect.
your end. Oh, there we go. I think I got you back. Hi, Professor. Just checking in. I'm not sure if we have a lag or.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Professor, we can hear you.
You can? I can
Yeah.
hear you. Can you hear Ellery?
I hear you now. I hear
Okay.
Oh, now we
Daniel.
go.
Okay,
Amazing.
great.
I hear okay.
All
I
right.
wasn't sure if it all went blank.
Yeah, no, we hear you now.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead and edit this site. And what we can kind of go through is the editor, some of the areas. I want to be able to show you where the tools are so you can make these edits. I also want to be able to show you how you can access SEO, and then from there, be able to build upon the site. We can add an Instagram page. This one doesn't have one. This one has a blog feature. It has a contact page. I want to show you how easily you can add a page.
Okay.
And I want to show you how easily you can make these edits. So let's go ahead and close this up here. And I want to also show you how you can access the apps depending on
Yeah.
what your need is. And one of those you mentioned was IG. Another example was, hey, if you want to have a podcast, you can link that and it'll also be active and you can easily integrate into your site. Are there any specific questions? I know some people have already been tinkering with Wix. Any questions that you want me to show? I'm happy to do that too.
Daniel, is there something that you wanted Ellery to show that you think would be important for students?
No, I think that was everything.
Okay, great. So I don't have any questions. Feel free to add them in the chat if you do have one and you don't want to unmute or share. I'm just waiting for the site to open up. Let me start
Okay.
closing up some of these windows.
So when students, since you only can be one at a time, so I guess a way in which students could share what they did, they could be like on Zoom and share their screen together if they want to work on a couple of students together, want to work on a site at the same time. What, is that a possibility?
Yes,
Ellery?
that's an important thing to take into account is the fact that it's not like a Google document where you're able to work simultaneously when it comes to the Wix editor. The Wix editor is something that you'll need to each log into a specific time in order to access it. You're going to notice that it's not something that you can access simultaneously. So let's just say you're all working on it, like the professor mentioned, like, hey, yeah, let's join a Zoom and have someone start making the edits so we can go through it together.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone says, you know what, I'll be in charge of the editor page. The section that is the Instagram, I'm going to integrate it. I'm going to add it for our business, or I'm going to do the hours, or I'm going to do the bio, or I'm going to do the team page. You can assign each other things. You just can't work at the same time. It's something that the classic editor that you typically use doesn't allow you to do that. You can do it on the editor that is the studio. That's a more advanced editor. It's typically what our graphic designers use. I don't recommend you starting on it because it is a little bit more difficult. You need to know different tools. I definitely recommend for the novice user to be using this classic editor version. work. Okay, I'm not sure if you see my page, but now that we're able to see the company that you're building, and you can choose here in the editor different sections, whether it's your header or the body of the site, you can start making edits that'll be able to be shown side by side. You'll also have access to, different AI tools. If you want to maybe type up the about me or the details of the site, and you wanted assistance in coming up with what kind of company this is, you can easily start adding it in here. So you can say, I'm an AI consultant for medical devices in heart therapy. I don't know. You can put something like that and it'll come up with some content information or some copy, and you can further be more descriptive by adding the name of the company and naming the site, and then it'll generate text for you that you can choose from, and you can add tones and such. So you can choose to go that route, or you can just choose to be able to just type it in and edit it on your own. So if I were to do a quick edit here, you'll notice that I can easily go in here and say, I want to start changing up these different sections, and I want to be able to see what that looks like live. So in here, instead of saying lead, achieve, and succeed, maybe I want to put in here leader in.
So how did you get Ellery to the AI generate text?
You can do that. It'll populate in different sections, but also what you'll notice is when you double click here and you choose to edit an individual element, whether it's a text, an image, or a button, it'll give you a nice little sparkle button. We've always had an AI feature on Wix. Now, with all this Wix and AI craze last summer, you'll notice that it's just a new little button that was added here.
Okay.
But there's different sections that you can add it.
Yeah, it says create AI text. Yes.
Yeah, so you can easily say, hey, I want to generate new text. I want to rewrite it. I want something shorter. You can change the tone in it. You can change the type of text that you're writing. Maybe you're doing a welcome instead, and you need some ideas on doing it. You can kind of go in here and add it. So I can easily say, I want this to be a welcome, or maybe a service description, better yet, and it even gives you the prompt starting points that you can add in here. So if I were to say this is going to be for AI consultant, like you mentioned, I can just put it in here. What did I say? Heart therapy?
Yeah.
We can go ahead and add it. It'll start generating something, and I can keep it. I can edit it. I can change it up.
Okay, great.
It just depends on what I want to do. So it'll kind of give me that.
It's like a embedded chat GPT.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Pretty much. So if you have trouble, if you want to make it shorter, if you want to rephrase it, it'll generate
just like a
automatically.
regular, even Gemini or any of the other ones. Perfect.
Yeah. So I can easily update this, and I can say, you know what, let's just go ahead and use this. And now I've added this new text here into my page.
Okay, perfect.
Now, if you want to swap an image, you can do the same. You can click on this section, and you can say, you know what, I don't really want to have this bridge because this is more of a health therapy thing for AI. I want something a little bit different. You can change it either as a color. I want to change the image. And for all of you here, you'll be able to start making these edits using the Wix media from Wix. It's free. It's copyrighted. It's freely licensed. You don't have to worry about copywriting. And it's something that you can use to start making your pages and your different consultation companies in here. So maybe I want to put art therapy. I can look up thousands of images or video or even illustrations. And so maybe what I want to have is this nice little vascular heart here.
Yeah. Okay,
and
great.
so just like that, I'm able to kind of change the setting, change the look of it. Totally up to you. You can add video in here, do tons of things. So as you're working through your page, on your site, you'll notice that you have these different buttons here on the left. So this will allow you to add any tool that you're going to need. In here, I ask that you go and play around with every single one of these options. You can't break it. You can always click this undo button here, but it's going to give you a great opportunity to kind of keep creating and editing your pages that you're working on.
And I see
You
they have
can-
also AI image creator there, just as
Oh yeah,
well.
you can
Yeah.
choose that one and
Mhm.
add what kind of image you're looking for, and it'll
Right.
create
Just like
something
the other
based on
guy.
your need. Yeah, just
Okay.
like you don't have to like leave. That's the thing about Wix. They make it so that it integrates with every new tech that comes about so that you never have to leave the editor. You can do
Mhm.
everything from here, which is a huge plus because no one likes going back and forth on different tools. And so you can add different buttons. Students love to use these to make different icons or calls to action. A strip is going to be a section. So you'll notice that when you're going through your page, it has different sections. You can even rename these sections if you wanted to for yourselves, especially if you're working on different sections and you want to assign it to group members. You can give it a name and say, hey, you're going to work on XYZ section. But that's what these strips are. They're the separate entities to the pages, just so that you understand that language. You can add plenty of decorative and vector art. In here, I've seen students make logos out of some of this vector art, so you can choose something in here for you. If you're looking to add tools or you're looking to add a gallery of images, I don't know if that's something that you'll be doing, but if you wanted to add either videos or you wanted to just add some kind of media, you'll be able to do that with a gallery.
So if they want to
or
add
with
their
the
own
sliders.
videos, they have some video clips that they want to upload then?
Absolutely. You can definitely add that. So for example, if I wanted to just add a section in here, I can go ahead and drop this in here and I can say, you know, I want to add a grid or a slider of these different images or videos. I can just drop it in here, make my section bigger before I do that. Okay, I'm just gonna open this up more. I can easily just drag and drop it so that it fits. Notice that you have some nice white space in here, and then I can drop it in here, or I can say, you know, I like to use shortcuts. Maybe what I'd rather do is add a gallery or a slider of some video, and I want to put it under my heart image, like she was saying. So I'm going to look here for a gallery, and I'm sorry, I have a lot of pages open, so my computer is running a little slow, but you can add that in here. So these are the different ways in which you can add it and the different types of galleries. Okay, and you can just drop it in. So maybe I want to add something like this, and it'll create that whole section for me by dropping it right in there, and it'll tell you where, and then you can change the section. It'll give you an arrow to move it around if you wanted to. Okay, so you'll see the little arrow here, and then you can just add your media. So you can click on Manage Media, and you can start uploading or searching if you have video, or if you want to use something from the free media, then you can just
But if
upload
they
it.
have their own, they can just go to their section and get it.
Yeah, you can upload it.
Right.
If it's on
That's what we'll have
YouTube,
them do.
you can integrate it from YouTube.
Yeah.
If you have Vimeo, you can just upgrade it and you can add it in here, and you can add your own video. Okay, so you can leave it like that. Notice that I had opened up this section for before, so I'm just going to close it back up to kind of make it cohesive, but you get the idea. You can build upon it, you can add sections. In here is where you'll also, maybe you just want to add one video. You can go here under video and music and say, I don't know, maybe I just want to add one small video, or maybe I want to add a whole slider of videos or a whole grid of videos. Totally up to you. You can just, again, drag and drop it and add it in there.
Perfect.
Now, you mentioned being able to add socials.
Yes.
You can choose a few things. This particular template doesn't have socials here on the top.
Okay.
It will have it probably at the footer. You'll have like social links, maybe for the contact page. Notice that you
Yeah.
have it here. I want to add it at the top. So you can easily just drag and drop this here. And you can say, I want to be able to add in these socials, specific ones that I want people to follow me through. And so you can click on that link and it'll ask you, well, what kind of socials are you looking to share? Or what is it that you're looking for? Maybe I don't want Facebook. I don't really want Twitter or LinkedIn. Maybe I want Instagram and I want YouTube and TikTok, which is very
Okay.
popular right now. But if you want something else, maybe you, in your company that you have, you want to have Amazon. You can add Amazon. Maybe you want Discord. Maybe you want Behance. It just depends on what you need. You can look it up in here and add it. Okay. And then just be able to include the link in here if you have it for your make-believe company. You can
Okay,
just attach
perfect.
the link in here. So that's one way to add socials.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your visitor will be able to click on it. Your professor mentioned, well, I want to be able to look at apps and integrate a social like an Instagram, or maybe I want a podcast and I want to embed a link or an RSS feed. What I'm going to do here is create that page. I'm going to go ahead and go to my pages feature. And I'm going to add a new page. I can easily add a page by clicking here on my add page button. Or I can say, you know what, from this menu of items, I want to be able to add a new page. And then it's going to ask me, well, that's great. You want to add a new page, but what do you want on that page? Do you want help with different templates? And that's what Wix does. It will give you plenty of options to choose from. Notice that it gives you an about me. This is a really great one for your teams. You can create a whole page and have it be your team. You can go here under projects if you have like different projects that you want to add in here and choose one of these to add for your company. Or you can just start a blank page, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to rename it. And we're going to call it IG, and it's going to be a living site on your business page. Okay, so it's going to ask you to name it. Now that I've added it, you'll notice that you see it here on the menu of your business. And what I want to do is show you the apps page, which is right here, this apps button. This is a nice Wix app market that you can find anything in. Make sure, I always like to tell students that it's something that's free, okay, so that you don't have to worry about having to upgrade or worrying about making a payment. So I'm going to put Instagram in here. So just make sure you read when you choose it. Like this one says you're going to get 7 days free. This is a free plan, which is what we're going to add. And then you have others that say you need a premium site. So just make sure you choose a free one. And what this will do now is it's going to create your IG page. It's going to add it in here along with all the features. It's going to install and it's going to integrate automatically. And you don't have to worry about coding. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's going to automatically put it in here along with all the tools so that it
So this I get in
updates
the
automatically.
marketplace.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Get this in the marketplace, and then all you have to do is choose a few options. So I'm going to click here on settings, and I'm going to add my link so you can connect it, right? So you can connect it in here or your big business one. And I can also edit what I'm looking at. So maybe I don't really care about showcasing that. I'm removing the total post followers and following, and I want it to just be my Instagram page. So automatically, whenever you're updating your feed, this is going to update automatically as well.
Perfect.
You don't have to worry about going in here and editing anything.
Very nice.
Another tool that she had mentioned, like, hey, what if I want to add a podcast for my site? Same thing. You can make a page and you can look it up in here. And it'll automatically create and integrate your podcast and create a podcast page. Okay, so
And
that's
look
where
just
you
for
get your
free to
tool.
install. Okay. And you get the
Yeah.
podcast player or whatever. Perfect.
Absolutely. So definitely super easy things that you can integrate, and it'll live on its own on your business site. What was the other tool that you wanted to show? Zoom, or you wanted
Yeah,
to
the
create
bookings.
appointments?
Just the bookings, right?
Okay, great. So this
'Cause we're
particular
running out of-
template.
we have another 5 minutes, so.
Okay, so for this particular template, I want you all to just click on the Wix button. And what that will do is that it's going to allow you to go to the back end view of your business site. And this is where you'll be managing your site. This is where you'll be able to add more pages or add more to the different sections, like building a calendar or building different tools that you choose. All your apps are going to always be set up here. And this is where you'll be able to check your marketing, check your prices, check your inbox, be able to add your search engine optimization and look at your analytics. But what we want to do is add to this and create bookings. This currently has online programs or events, but that's not what I want to use. I want to be able to have a section that allows me to create bookings. And so I'm going to go here into my app market, and I'm going to add a bookings option. That option is going to build out all the tools that I'll need to create pricing, to create types of bookings where you'll be able to maybe have like a Zoom consultation for free. So I'll go ahead and add this Wix bookings, and I'll add it just like we did our other apps. And it automatically integrates everything into the system, and it'll even make the page for you and everything in your business.
Oh, nice.
Go to my editor. I don't know if you have any questions, anybody here, about the different tools. Right now, it's just integrating it. I don't see any questions here in the chat. Any other step, Professor, that you wanted us to see
Just
today?
the Zoom, and then the Zoom, and if they wanted, let's say they wanted to do a Zoom meetings, or they had like a Zoom date, can they incorporate Zoom? If they have their own Zoom, can they incorporate that as well into Wix?
Yes, definitely. Sorry, she's building it out.
Yeah,
My computer's closed. I'm closing tabs as we speak.
yeah.
Let's see, it's building, almost there. I think the last thing too that I wanted to show was collaborators too.
Yes, let's even, maybe we can do that while it's doing it, no? Or we have to finish this.
Let's see, go back here. So you can go to your settings page. So I'm going to go back, and I want to show you, let's go to the site. No, it's building now. My editor still going in there. This is usually much quicker. It's just my computer, and I apologize. Let's see if we can go back through here. And go to my dashboard. This is still building.
You know, it's a problem with actually building those sites. It seems like it takes a lot of resources.
It's just my computer. I have
Okay.
a lot of apps. I came back from vacation. I haven't restarted my computer.
Okay. Hopefully
But
it was a
it's,
good vacation.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully it was a good vacation.
It is just spring break with the rats.
Okay.
Nothing exciting. All right. So, oh, well, this started first.
Yeah.
So we can go in here. We can go back here to the apps page. And it's adding, notice that it's adding my bookings.
Mm-hmm.
It's integrating it. It creates a page for it. It's just opening it up to kind of show you all the different features. It tells you all the different steps and the things that you can do with it. And then from here, it starts adding the pages. It already gave me my book online page. It's building out the
nice.
calendar. Yeah, so
And then on settings right there on the top, they could go to even settings and then
yeah, but let's go
contribute to each
here
of
to the book online page. And just to kind of show you how you can just build out the different types of services, you can do it from scratch. It gives you examples. You have your shopping cart here that it's building out so that when your customer is choosing that option, it can choose it. And then you can start building out that business site. So now you have your services. And just like anything, you can edit and you can manage it through here. And you can start creating that. So if I wanted to add my Zoom page, I could do that in here. Add my link. It'll ask me what kind of consultation. It could be in person. Your professor wants you to use Zoom, so you can attach your Zoom that your UM accounts use. You don't have to pay for it. So notice that it starts building that out. You're going to see this on the back end. And I'm going to add here virtual consultation. It's already made. You can do a blank one, or you can use one of these that are in here. And you can start making all those different edits. And of course, be able to add the location in here. Right. So I want this to be video conferencing. And this is where you would add your link. Save and continue. And it'll always tell you what is it that you're missing so that you can continue. And this is where you would choose your link. It could be an external link or your Zoom one.
Okay, so for the Zoom, the only thing that students need to know is they need to use a free Zoom account. So they have to create a free Zoom account. They can't use the university Zoom account if they're going to do that.
Yeah, so you can choose it and it'll tell you how to go through that process.
Okay.
So that's how easily you can add that. And then when it comes to your site, being able to go to your settings and start adding collaborators, you can go again, you can click on the Wix icon. You can go to settings. Here on the bottom. I want to show you how easily you can start making those changes in here.
Yeah. So we're running out of time, Ellery, on this. So yeah, just right here in the roles and permissions. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where you'll choose one member in your project that's going to house it, and then you'll invite all of your other members.
Right.
That'll be your collaborators, and just make everyone admin or co-owner, and they'll have access to everything.
Best I think to make website managers, because they're including billing and payment, right?
Well, it's for your project, so you want them to have all access.
Okay, so admin, when you're doing admin, what's the difference between admin versus website manager?
You're limited on certain access. You want them to have access to everything.
But cannot manage billing, delete, duplicate, or transfer site.
Yeah, you're gonna want them to have admin for all your members. And then you'll all be able to access that one site that you're working on together. Okay, so you have a lot of that here in your deck that is going to be shared, so you can go through it. And then of course, you'll have access to a number of resources. You don't have to ask the professor. You don't have to have a Wix expert
but
with
this will be nice to upgrade. You've done such a nice job on the slides. I think they can just go through your slides. Okay,
Yeah,
and then,
you
if
can
we
go
go
through
up
it.
one, go up
have-
two, right, and then we have it. Right, it's right here. This is what they're going to get, the business plan. Right.
Yeah, so you're going to get the business plan. You'll have access to use all the tools.
Okay.
And then anything that you come up with that you have any questions, you have the Wix support page, that plenty of articles for you to go through. And then of course, if you want to learn how to use the tool, you can go to Wix Learn, which is free tutorials.
Okay, great. So wonderful. So thank you so much. And you'll send us then your slides plus the codes for the class.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Any
Can-
other questions?
Can you send me
We'll-
the codes for all 3 of the classes also?
Yeah. I have it
Okay.
here. Don't worry, you're copied in there.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. So that way, Dylan can put that up for all 3 sections. Thank you so much, Ellery. Thank you very much for supporting us, and we look forward. And then at the end, we'll share some of our sites with you that you can use for other presentations of what they do. And then we have Dylan was in the class before, and he really has used it for looking at Excel and, pilot on the Excel, how to use Excel for that. And he did a nice job as well. So thank
See you in
you.
the next class.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So questions. So we'll meet on Wednesday. And we'll probably make sure that I check off with each of the groups. What I'd like to do for each group is put what I've approved already and make that your put a note in your section that which project I approved. And then what I would suggest is start having one of you play around with the introduction to Wix and get started. And then I'll talk about generative AI on Wednesday, and I'll meet with every group on Wednesday to sign off. Any questions? So let's do a quick attendance. Let me share my screen. Let me go back here. Activity course for H1. And attendance. Check in. Start check-in. And it's 17:43. Stay with me if you have additional questions. Otherwise, we'll see you on Wednesday. And stay with me if you have any issues with your groups or anything like that. 17:43.
Thank you.
Tatiana, thank you for moderating for us as well. And Fabio, do you have a question? 17:43. Let me stop sharing.
I don't know if he's here.
Yeah, sometimes it comes in and then it gets stuck. Okay, guys, so
You
did
wanna
she
step
send us
away?
anything, Dylan?
I don't think I've done anything yet.
Let me just see, she may have not finished.
Yeah,
I got something.
all right, you want to forward that to me?
Yeah, really forward. So your high document class codes. She did to you, DJM 361.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Let me forward anyway, since she sent it to you too. Let me forward.
maybe it's in like a different box.
Hold on. See, I just sent it from my Gmail. Did you get it? So it's not going to be a year. She said 50 uses. So this is class 1, 2, and 3. So this is going to end December 31st.
Mhm.
So we're in April. Okay, it used to be a year. Now it's less. Okay.
So it'll work for the next class I tee up.
What?
Like the website will still work for the next class that
Yeah. Now, or it may be that the codes work only, but this, you get it for a year. You understand? So these could even work. Those codes could even work, right? But we will have those. And then we can put that out so we can use it. So we'll expire. So then you can use it. One is Wix 9A, 10A, and 11A. You see that? Did you get it?
I don't think so yet.
No?
Let me refresh my app. No,
Okay.
not yet.